morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Ingram Jones, and I have a special guest from Ireland, the man who is going to be fighting Chris Eubank Jr. next, Spike O'Sullivan. Spike, how are you?
Very good yourself?
I'm great, I'm great. I mean, the last time we spoke, Spike, you were talking to me about wanting the Eubank fight. You've got it?
Yeah, I've got it. I've got the man I wanted.
You got the man you wanted. Talk to me about, first of all, the first arranged fight that was between you and Chris. There was talk about, some people said that you pulled out because there wasn't money. Some people, there wasn't enough money. Some people pulled out, says you pulled out because you were injured. What was the true story about that, first and foremost?
Well, what the problem was is Frank Warren was Chris Eubank Jr. promoter at the time, and what actually happened was Frank wanted to sign. He knew I'd beat Chris Eubank, so he wanted me to have a clause that I'd have 5 fights after that fight, after the Eubank fight. After I beat Eubank, I'd have to fight my next 5 fights with Frank Warren. Or we bargained them down to 3, which we actually agreed to in the end. But then they kind of made ridiculous offers about the money for the following 3 fights after the Eubank fight, so it just didn't make one bit of sense with the fight I wanted. But just couldn't be made at the time. It was impossible.
So, basically, had you beaten Chris Eubank Jr., you'd have been tied to Frank Warren for 5 fights.
Yeah, well, I think they came down to 3 in the end, but I'd been with Frank Warren for 4 years anyway before, and I just recently signed with Murphy's Boxing around that time of the Eubank fight, and they were my promoters, and yet Frank Warren wanted me back when I'd beaten Eubank, and it just didn't make sense. Even though my promoters did agree in the end that they'd give me a fight on Frank Warren shows for 3 fights after I'd beaten Eubank, but then they just asked for the ridiculous money for the 3 fights following the Eubank fight, so it just didn't make one bit of sense at all.
Okay. So talk to me a little bit about Murphy's Boxing. For people who don't know about Murphy's Boxing, tell me a little bit about Murphy's Boxing and why you signed with them.
Well, Murphy's Boxing is run by the top man there is Ken Casey. He's actually the lead singer with Dropkick Murphys. He's a great guy, really, really, really good guy, and I had no hesitation in signing with him with the contract they gave me, and they're keeping me very busy out there, and it's fantastic to be with them. I'm delighted. Great promotion team they have.
Okay, so they say be careful what you ask for in life, you might just get it. You now have the fight of Chris Eubank Jr. Why have you been chasing Chris Eubank Jr. so much?
Well, I believe there's harder fights out there for a lot less money, a lot less opportunities. You don't get to fight these guys on Sky, and you don't get the money that you would get for fighting him, and I see it as an easier fight than these guys. That's the honest truth.
So you see it as a fight that you can make more money out of, and also a fight that you think that you can win?
100%, yeah. You hit the nail on the head there, yeah. That's exactly it. And it's also a world title eliminator, which is a great bonus, and it's just a win-win situation.
So, when people look at this fight, the similarity you have between Chris Eubank Jr. and yourself is the fact that Billy Joe Saunders has beat both of you. Now, talk to me about your loss to Billy Joe Saunders. I mean, I remember you telling me at the time that was it either you had 3 weeks to prepare for the fight or something like that? There wasn't something right with the preparations or something?
No, that's incorrect. I was actually the fittest of my entire life, I believe, when I fought Billy Joe Saunders, and I felt very good going into the fight physically, but there was a few things happening outside the ring that I don't really want to go into. A few family issues, and I got beaten by the better man anyway in the night, and just beat me and he beat me fair and square, and but I was physically very fit for that fight, and it's just a very bad night for me, I suppose you could say.
So when you signed with Murphy's Boxing, and obviously you went over to America to start fighting in America, was it a ploy to get a certain level of opponents to keep you busy and active but not in too much danger, so you got the Chris Eubank Jr. fight?
Not necessarily. I was looking for fights. I challenged quite a good few fighters, and I fought Melvin Betancourt with 29 wins and 1 loss, and I fought guys with winning records, but it was more to keep busy for sure. I wanted to be fighting more regularly and getting good sparring out in the United States. I think they fulfilled that part for me, Murphy's boxing very well.
Okay, so now you face Chris Eubank Jr.
Yep.
When you now you know you've got this fight signed, sealed. It's only for you to go out and deliver. What do you think you bring to the table that is giving you such clarity and such belief that you're going to beat Chris Eubank?
I'm just simply a better boxer than he is. I have more experience than him. I'm a better fighter. I've been around the game a lot longer than him. I believe I got a better trainer. I've got a lot more experience than he has, and I just think on the night it's going to be a one-sided fight. I think I'm going to destroy him.
You believe you're going to destroy him. Okay. If you look at both of your records, you look at Chris's record and your record, in terms of professional fights, Chris's best win, you would say, would have been against Chudinov, and your best win probably against Matthew Hall, would you say?
I agree with that, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so other than that, I mean, people look at your fight against Anthony Fitzgerald, the way you laid out Fitzgerald, big punch. That's the fight everyone talks about with regards to your knockout power. Now, does that, in terms of you gauge of how hard you hit, will your punch power be will you be able to hit hard enough on the night to be able to stop someone like Chris Eubank Jr.? Because it's all about levels, isn't it? You may knock people out at maybe it's that fringe contender, that sort of level, but as you move up in classes, I'm sure you'll appreciate knockouts are harder to come by.
Yeah, I think Chris Eubank is at a similar level to Anthony Fitzgerald. I think he's a fringe contender, as you just called Anthony Fitzgerald. I don't see him of a better level than that, to be honest. And Anthony Fitzgerald, he went 12 rounds with Hassan Nadam on a 2 weeks notice, and he fought that fight out in Spain and in the heat, and he done very well against him. He also fought Andy Lee and gave him a lot of trouble. He fought Eamon O'Kane, none of these guys even dropped him, and I put a bet that I'd knock him out in 1 round, and I did that. My fight with Matthew Hall, I won the fight, but I think that had I been given more preparation for that fight, I would have won it a lot easier, I think. I believe I got a 2.5 weeks notice for that fight, and I had to drop 18 pounds, and I'd been out of the ring I think 11 months prior to that fight as well. So I think it was I put out my best performance because of the scenario I was in for that fight.
Coming into this fight now, are you going to do anything different than what you've done for previous fights, being a big fight or the biggest fight of your career? Anything change in your training camp, or do you go for the same sort of regimen?
I'm going to go, I go for the same. I have enough notice for the fight. I'm coming off a fight, so I'm in good shape. I'm not too far off fight weight. I was out in America sparring with Jermaine Taylor in Florida. It was hot there as well, so I was maintain my weight, and I'm in really good shape. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to bring in a few good sparring partners as well to Dublin, and just do what I always do when I get enough notice.
Do you have any apprehension in terms of what Chris Eubank brings to the table in terms of maybe speed, power, movement, and the fact that he's got Adam Booth in his corner? Do you think that makes a difference to Chris Eubank Jr.? Or do you think it's too soon to tell whether Adam Booth can make a difference to Chris Eubank Jr.?
I don't see anything to fear. Not one thing about him, to be honest. I don't see anything special at all about him. I've sparred better fighters, fought better fighters, and I'm not one bit concerned about anything he has.
Not at all. What do you think of the fight he fought against Tony Jettis, his last opponent? What were your thoughts on that?
It was hard. The guy wasn't so that good, I suppose, and it was hard to tell. I didn't think. I thought he looked unpowerful. I thought he looked a bit flimsy, a bit of cosmetic-y. All lifting a lot more weights and stuff like that in the gym, and more of a bodybuilder than a boxer.
Right. Okay. So you look at this fight. Is there anything mentally you're going to do differently for this fight? I mean, you've got a lot of people out there. I've seen on your Twitter page a lot of people are wishing you all the best and saying Spike go knock out Eubank. He's very arrogant and stuff.
Yeah.
Does that in this fight? Because obviously this is the most high profile fight you're going to be in if your professional career. How do you take all that in? Do you take that in and say, well, that kind of fires you up to train even harder to beat Chris Eubank Jr.? Or do you ignore that and just stay the course?
I thrive on it. The bigger the occasion, the better I perform. I think the biggest occasion for me was probably when I fought Anthony Fisher, because there was a massive rivalry there as well, and that excites me, and I love it. I thrive on that, the hostile crowd and the big crowds. I love fighting on Sky. I fought on Sky twice. A title fight for the NABA, WBA title, and the fight against Fitzgerald. I won 4 fights by devastating knockout, and I think the bigger the occasion, the better I become. I find it hard to get up for small fights. I love these fights.
I can understand that, absolutely. So you're one of these guys that are you're a big time. You like the big time.
Yeah, I love it.
One of the criticisms marked against you was that maybe you were a tad too easy to hit. That was, I think, one of the fights you were having, which was on in America. I think the Sky commentary team were watching and saying that you were a bit too easy to hit. What are your thoughts about that? And is that something that you're going to maybe look at in terms of the Eubank fight?
I actually watched that fight back that you're on about. I think it was, if you look back and I think there was only one guy saying that I was easy to hit. I think that was the guy with the big wonky nose, actually.
Yeah.
I think it was just him alone. I think he was the only guy saying that I was easy to hit. I've never heard that before from anyone else. Just that, as I said, the guy with the big wonky nose. He was the only one. He was the only one saying it, So you want to take a look in the mirror and see who's too easy to hit himself.
So, you're a funny man, Spike.
Just telling the truth, man. Just telling the truth. He looks like he got hit by one of Robin Hood's stray arrows stuck in the front of his face.
Nice comeback. So, in terms of training, who's going to be training you for the fight?
My trainer, Pascal Collins, is going to train me.
What do they bring to the table for you in terms of Steve Collins and Pascal Collins? What do they bring to the table for you in terms of getting you up for this fight? What do you think they bring that you feel that you've got confidence in those trainers to make you be successful on the night?
Well, I believe my trainer is the best trainer in Europe for sure, and definitely one of the best coaches in the world. He brings a wealth of knowledge, experience from his brother Steve's world title fights. Also, he's been around gyms in America for 15 years. He learned his trade with Goody Petronelli, who trained Marvin Hagler. He was with Freddie Roach for many years as well in LA, and was away on many training camps with Freddie Roach when Freddie Roach was training Steve Collins for his fights. They used to go to training camp in Jersey, and Pascal has a massive amount of knowledge, and they're great psychologically. They get you right, very right, and you feel invincible. And just the American style of fighting as well, the inside fighting, they have such great experience with that. It's just, I think one of my trainers, one of the best in the world, definitely.
As you know, Chris Eubank Sr. fought Steve Collins twice, and
did he really?
Collins won both fights convincingly. The second fight even more so, and Chris Eubank's comment in the second fight was that Collins kept coming and he couldn't stop him. How much inspiration do you draw from this fight, and how much parallels does it have for you in terms of your fight with Junior?
Well, Steve Collins, he was a great fighter. I think a stronger fighter than Steve Collins was. And definitely a harder puncher than Steve Collins was. He'd tell you that himself. Pascal would tell you that. Chris Eubank Jr. is not as good as his father. I think the math is all in my favour. I'm a stronger, harder puncher than Steve Collins was. and a come forward fighter. Chris Eubank Jr. is not going to be able to hold me off, and he's going to be in big trouble come December 12th.
Finally, why do you think that Eddie Hearn, Matchroom and Chris Eubank Jr. have decided to take you on now? If you're that much of a threat, why would they fight you now?
I think they're underestimating me. That's what I believe. Because I was beaten convincingly by Billy Joe Saunders on a bad night for me. I had a close-ish fight with Matthew Hall, but people don't know the circumstances I fought him under. I was 2.5 weeks notice. I spent the day in the sauna the day of the weigh-in. I was overweight. There was lots of issues. I still managed to go 12 rounds. It was my first 12-round fight and still win. And the 11th and 12th round were my best round. Because I wanted to win, I got the desire, and I'm a winner. I think that they're underestimating me. That's why they're taking the fight, and it's going to be a big mistake, the biggest mistake of his career. I think when I'm finished with him as well, I think I'm going to badly hurt him and knock him out devastatingly, and I think he may never recover as a fighter in the ring. I think I'm going to beat him so bad that he's going to be like a guy with post-traumatic stress, and when we get in the ring again, he'll be gun shy, he'll be afraid of getting hit. I'm going to really wreck and ruin his career.
Is this a personal thing, or is this just business?
It's just business for me. He's an arrogant guy. He wouldn't be in my Christmas list. I won't be sending him any Christmas cards, but I got 3 children. I want to give him a future. He's just the one on my road, and he's just one I need to get out of the way on my way to the world title, and he's a good one for me. He's a good step on the ladder for me. A nice shiny step on the ladder for me.
Spike O'Sullivan, thank you so much for talking to Bayloric TV. Do you have a message for your fans?
Yeah, go to the bookies. I'm good odds for this fight. They're also underestimating me, and get the better odds on the knockout, because that's what's going to happen. I'm going to knock him out 100% and have the best Christmas that you've ever had.
And a message to Chris Eubank Jr. if he's listening?
I'm coming for you, Chris. I'm going to knock you out. Simple as that.
Thank you so much, Spike.
My pleasure. Thanks for calling me, and I'll speak to you again soon.
Soon. Take care.